This is it, my farewell speech. You know, I was actually planning I wouldn't have to do this, but my mom kind of ruined that plan when she came into my room last night and told me to put the TV back together and stop trying to build a time machine. So, although I do love to talk, I like to talk with my friends, but I've never been one for giving speeches. I just find it kind of like awkward. I mean, you're all just looking at me, I'm just talking. I mean, it's like they're all just staring like deep into my soul trying to take it, but I don't have one, so it makes this kind of a little bit easier. Someone once told me the key to giving a good speech is just to look at your audience and picture them all naked, but I'm not going to do that just because that really doesn't help. So over the years, I've gotten to know most of you. Most of you gotten to know me, more people than others, but the thing I like about like growing up with all you guys and seeing you guys just grow throughout the years is, I mean, there's not a person in this class that I haven't taken notice of. I mean, even the people like Haley, I mean, Mary, she's a nice girl, Jess, Katie. I mean, you get to know everybody a little bit. Mr. Harold, he's a great guy. I mean, a lot of people consider me a funny guy. I mean, I guess I am. I just like to make people laugh. I like to just say whatever I kind of want. A lot of times it's gotten me into a lot of trouble, but that's also gotten me places. Like one time back in 7th grade on the bus, I like to say a select word that the bus driver heard me say once, and I got suspended from the bus for a couple days. I just enjoy making people laugh. I mean, it's good for you. I mean, the things I say are sometimes kind of vulgar, but I mean, if I can put a smile on one person's face, then I mean, that's my mission accomplished. You can't go through life and not be happy. If you go around all the time being angry, I mean, what are you even doing here? You're just not living right. I mean, a smile is a powerful thing. I mean, you know, you see me smiling, it makes you want to smile. I want to smile. So, you know, over the past few days, some people have told you their stories about, you know, their situations, their life. I mean, my life's, it's been pretty easy. But, I mean, you know, life, death. Life isn't a right, it's a gift. And you need to go out and live each day like it's your last. Because, I mean, death, it could just be just around the corner. I mean, you could just walk out into the street tomorrow and get hit by a car. I've almost died a couple times. Speaking of that, I was crossing 51, I almost got hit on my bike. It was scary, that car was like real close. He slammed on the brakes. It was pretty cool, I mean, I regret it, but hey. If you want to do something, go out and do it. You know, it's better to have tried a million times than to never try it at all. So, coming to school every day for years and years, seeing the same faces. I mean, you know, I mean, we're all going to be going our separate ways. And we're probably not going to see most of each other again. So, I mean, it's kind of sad. I mean, some people, it's kind of a good thing. But, I mean, high school's great. I liked it. I mean, I've been wanting to get out of this school since the moment I stepped in. But, I mean, if I could, I'd love to go back and relive these 4 years just because high school is a great experience. You get to meet so many people, talk to so many people. I mean, it's great. I could stay this age forever if I wanted to. Well, actually, I'd probably like to turn 21 first and then stay that age forever. That'd be pretty solid. But, yeah. I mean, the opportunities given to us in school are amazing. Clubs, sports, computers, Mr. Bench. It's fantastic. And if we're lucky, even cold French fries at lunch. Speaking of lunch, do you guys remember that lady that went around for a week and she was like offering all those free food samples and like offering to change up the school lunch program? Whatever happened to her? She disappeared like an albino in a snowstorm. Anyways, I'll be honest. Dr. Harold, he's a great guy. I don't really want to suck up to him too much, but Mr. Harold's pretty intelligent, and I've learned that throughout the years. One reason I actually respect him is because he established the use of computers in a classroom, which is actually really smart. Google Drive is an amazing thing. I mean, the one thing that accomplished is now nobody can come to class saying, like, I left my homework on my bed. Like, what are you doing? Why are you sleeping with your homework? Or even like, my dog ate my homework. I mean, if a kid came to me saying my dog ate my homework, and I said, I'd have a hard time believing that like your Yorkshire Terrier ate a laptop. Yeah, there's a lot of dumb teachers in this building too, and it's usually pretty easy to make up a story and lie about your homework and get away with it. But about Mr. Harold, I'll be honest, I've lied to him a couple times. But I mean, every time I lied to Mr. Harold, which was not often, probably like twice or maybe 3 times, 4 times, 5 maybe. But every time I lied to him, I knew that he knew I was lying, just by the way he comes off. I've also witnessed the evolution of Mr. Harold's pronunciation of Mladen. In 10th grade, it was M. Layden, to 2 years down the road where he finally nailed it. High school is tough work, except when you can find the teacher's editions of all the books online, which has the answers to every single question in the book. You basically get through the entire year without doing any homework. That's mainly like a math thing. Anyways, there's teachers we hate, there's teachers we love. And just last week I heard the name of a teacher I didn't even know existed. This school is a big place. Yeah, I remember my first day of freshman year. The bell rang after 8th period, and I was walking down the hallway, going to my bus, and for some reason, I didn't follow like the crowd of people. Like everybody was going one direction, but like I don't know, I was just like doing my own thing. This little ginger kid just walking through the hallway, and yeah, I got lost. I was like somewhere down near the LGI room, like in a corner. This janitor popped out the cut, and he's like, "Are you lost?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have no idea where the buses are." He's like, "Oh, just follow all the people." I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, let that be a lesson, though. I mean, don't follow the crowd. Do what you want to do. I mean, just because everybody else is doing something, don't jump on the bandwagon just because everybody else is doing it. If it's not something you're passionate about, like you shouldn't pursue it. 2 paths diverge in a yellow wood, and I took the path less traveled, and that has made all the difference. That's a Robert Frost quote. My apologies. Yeah. I'd rather be the person I am and have no friends than be the person I'm not and have a ton of friends. I didn't really want to make this speech about me. I just kind of wanted to get up here and have a good time. But a little bit about my future. Most of you may know I enlisted in the Army back in November. This thing isn't really too stable. It wasn't until earlier this school year I decided that it was something I wanted to do. I mean, my whole life, like, I've always been like that kid interested and like, I don't know, like just like the military, just like soldiers. Soldiers have always been my heroes, my grandparents, aunts, uncles, most of my cousins. I mean, they're just the guys that go out and they don't do it because, they want to, but they do it because they need to, because somebody needs to be out there protecting us. Yeah, I mean, this country has done so much for me, school, housing. So, I mean, there's something I want to go out and do something for you guys. I mean, the reason I do it's not because I don't like the government. Our government's kind of corrupt, but, I mean, I do it for everybody around me, not for Mr. Obama, so. I signed as a 13 Bravo cannon crew member. I was actually pretty happy with the job I got, shooting big cannons, big artillery, and making big explosions. So that'll be pretty fun. I like to blow stuff up. I've always been a fan of making things go boom, especially since I was young. One time I lit a quarter stick of dynamite up at the park, up at Snyder Park. And I never lit a quarter stick of dynamite until then. But yeah, I mean, it was really loud and it lit up the entire neighborhood. And I kind of peed myself. But I was scared. I was running home. I heard people in houses. All the lights were turning on. Everybody's yelling. I heard police sirens a couple minutes later. And police were out driving around the neighborhood. Yeah, that wasn't really in my speech. I kind of just wanted to tell you a quick story. Anyways. But all I can say to that is, YOLO. I mean, I've always wanted to be in the Army, so it's something I really wanted to do. The whole process is kind of difficult. I mean, especially like going down talking to all these guys down at the federal building who are a-holes. Anyways, but I mean, the first time they drew my blood, they actually missed my vein, and I was leaking all over the place. And the one Navy guy just like, oh, we got a leaker. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a usual thing. Okay. One of the weirdest things I've ever done was pee in a cup right in front of a guy. I mean, you're kind of just peeing in the cup, standing while he's looking at me. I'm like, I made eye contact with him. It kind of creeped me out. Yeah, I mean, I leave for Fort Jackson, South Carolina on June 16th, so I don't really have much of a summer. All right, cool. I mean, there's still a lot I'd like to do, but I mean, it's kind of nice that I get out and do this early. You know, I'll be 18 for 2 weeks, and then, you know, the quicker I get in, the quicker I'll get out, and then I can come back, you know, start my life, get an education, sign the GI Bill, which, I mean, the Army's going to pay for tuition, so that'd be fantastic. That's enough about me. Before I end this speech, I do have a few questions I've never got answers to. All right, I wrote a list. 1, LGI room. What does LGI stand for? I actually Googled that one, and I went to Urban Dictionary, and it said, let's get it room. That's the one I went with. I mean, the more I think about it, that always was the let's get it room. Because, like, especially when a teacher would send you to the LGI room, you just be, all right, let's go. You go to the LGI room, and you just go screw around for 30 minutes. But, you know, sometimes you do work. You coos out there knocking on the door, pointing a camera at me. I've got 2 cameras on me. It's pretty cool. When will I ever need to find a z-score or a p-value? That really makes me mad. Miss a year? I mean, nobody tell her about these videos online, but I don't like her. Stand up here in the camera. Why are some of us still in 12th grade and don't know the difference between your, them, and than? Your, that shows possession. You are. Check this out. There's an A that goes right there. Anyways, then and than, that's a big one too. Yeah. Alright, anyway, I wanted to get that out of the way. Why do we need clear backpacks while girls can have purses they can fit enough supplies to survive the next ice age in? I mean, they just as well could do as much damage with a purse as we can with a backpack. Why do adults call the talk the birds and the bees? The more I think about it, the more it doesn't make sense. Because, I mean, you think about it, birds and bees, that just doesn't work. Yeah, it just physically won't work out. Okay. I mean, in all honesty, I'm going to miss seeing everybody. I mean, coming into school, I mean, seeing most of you for 10 years, some of you for 4, but, I mean, you grow close to everybody. It's nice to see everybody. I mean, things like Dennis's speech, you're going to remember. I mean, Coconut Head. We get along. But, yeah, I mean, you know, years down the road, I mean, I'm sure we're all going to see each other eventually. Some of us might not. I mean, but I hope I do. Because, you know, if I see any of you down the road, I don't care who you are. I mean, if I went to school with you, I mean, chances are I'm going to want to say hi to you, talk to you, you know, talk about how things are going, how things used to be, the good old days. So, I'll just end this right now. It's been a long ride, class of 2015, but we all came together, and now we'll leave together. So I just want to say farewell, and I wish you all the best in whatever you go out and decide to pursue in your life.